here. I'm down there in the crowd. If there is an empty seat beside you, raise your hand, please. All right. Anybody who needs a seat, these people with their hands up. We also have a few chairs over here in the front.
For the same chair.
So if everybody will get whatever they need and have a seat, we will be getting started, okay?
Well, I'm very excited today that we had April Williams, who has just recently finished up her degree and has her boards in nutrition and health, and probably adults and children. And what's been really cool is she has been very, very excited to do this talk. So she is going to talk about good foods and options, and she also made the different things that we have other than we normally have our food that's kind of bought from the store. So I welcome you to try that for those who have, and it's all about trying new things. But April Williams, who happens to be, I'm going to tell her secret, she's the wife of one of the pulmonary associate's physician, which is Dr. Polsky.
Thank you so much for having me here on your special day. I think it's wonderful that you all get together for this sort of thing. It's so important. I'm going to just try to, can you hear me okay? I'm just going to try to open up my presentation here in just a quick second. And I passed around a survey to you all. Does everyone have one that is interested in filling it out? Does everyone have a survey? So I did have a little issue with getting enough copies. And then I have some copies of references and some recipes here, and I will make sure that those get out in an email later if we don't have time to pass them out today. Bear with me for just a second. All right. So that looks like a presentation. Okay, great. So yeah, thank you again for having me. My name is April Williams, and this presentation is going to be about nutrition. If you guys didn't already know that from the flyers that Kathy has sent out. Can you all hear me in the back? Never used a microphone. Like more? Louder? Okay. So I will just try to speak closer in the microphone like this. And try not to make funny noises. So I'm going to go over what we're going to cover today. First of all, why is nutrition important? I think everyone agrees that this is important for everyone, but with regards to when you have conditions like a lot of you guys have, it's even more important, particularly because a lot of foods can cause inflammation. And by eating in a way that reduces inflammation, you'll feel better in general. And I think a lot of you probably know that. So I'm going to talk about a lot of the good foods that I think a lot of people like, but they actually do cause inflammation. And then we're going to talk about some alternatives. And then toward the end, I'm going to share a method that I found a few years ago about changing habits, which has a lot to do with what we eat. Our habits are very, very important. And so I'm going to go through that quickly. You guys let me know what you think about it because, I think that's a very important piece. And then I also have this survey that I asked you all if you had a chance to get a copy of. I also didn't think about giving everyone a writing implement.
They can bring it back.
Okay.
For the next meeting.
Oh, okay. And it's more just for you all to kind of follow along. I'm going to have questions sort of peppered throughout the presentation. So you can either take notes now or take the survey back with you. If you want to share it with me later, that would be great because I would love to see some of your answers. But it was mostly just to give you something to kind of look at and maybe take some notes while we're talking today. And then also, I made a few dishes that were at the table in the back there. Those are some samples for you to try that are anti-inflammatory recipes. So those are some good for you type things. Did anyone get a chance to try any of them? I saw people eating them. What'd you think?
Delicious.
Okay. You have to say that now because I'm up here talking. So, all right. So I'll stop with the introduction there. So the first question that you'll see on your survey is just in general about nutrition. How important are food choices to your quality of life with COPD? And I'm not sure many people think about quality of life when they think about their nutrition. So yeah, it's just something to think about. Now I have this, maybe I can use this clicker. This will be easier than bending over the chair here. There we go. Now here's another question, something that I'm really curious about when I meet people. I'd like to know, how they feel about diets or if they've tried diets. So if you're willing to share that with me, write it down on your survey and let me know if you tried diet. So the word diet actually I find has sort of sometimes a scary connotation, a negative connotation, a temporary connotation. So I like to use the word or the phrase style of eating. But I still say the word diet a lot. Like I'll still say, the anti-inflammatory diet. And what I really mean is more, it's a way of eating. It's part of your lifestyle. So a healthy style of eating is real food, right? And I think it's funny to put air quotes around real because that implies it's not real. But real food instead of some of these like processed manufactured foods that we have a lot available to us now. So some of the attributes of eating a real food or a healthy style of eating, to me, are to think about eating a rainbow. So lots of colors on your plate. Think about quality, especially when it comes to meats, dairy, fats, and oils. And, again, that might not be something people necessarily think about all the time. Also, whole grains, that's something that I think is a confusing topic for some, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then finally, something that I like to focus on for myself, at least, and when I talk to other people, is the good, better, best principle. And that's really important because A, you're not always going to have the perfect options available to you for a number of reasons, and you just have to do your best. So when I said eat the rainbow, I just really did not mean this rainbow in particular. And I think I showed this to someone who might not be named right now, and they were like, I like that rainbow. What's wrong with that rainbow? So I've broken up the inflammatory diet into some different categories, and so I'm just going to talk about each one and kind of go through them. If there's something that you can't hear or you have a question about, please just, stop me. But I will definitely have some time at the end to answer some questions. So the first one to me is like big one, numero uno, is sugar. It's like really not fun for people to hear that one. But sugar and processed foods. So I don't know, who here has seen the movie Elf? Like a really funny movie with Will Ferrell, who, I don't know, might have single-handedly gotten me through graduate school because whenever I felt sad, I just thought about him and his yellow tights, and it got me through it. So there's a scene in the movie, and I can't actually show you the clip right now, but it's where he's sitting at the dinner table, and he's an elf, from the North Pole, right? And he lived with Santa Claus and all the elves, and he comes to New York City to his real dad's house, and they make spaghetti dinner, and he needs syrup to put on his spaghetti. So he explains why he's putting on syrup on his spaghetti. It's because the 4 main food groups in the North Pole are sugar, candy, candy cane, candy corn, and then syrup. And so you need at least one of them. And so while I do think that's probably excessive in terms of sugar consumption, he had something, I think with the syrup. I think with, in terms of talking about alternatives to a lot of sugary and processed foods, you can think about having control over how much you actually use, because the reality is that you're going to have some, right? So, making your own items, like having homemade baked goods and that kind of thing, and then controlling how much goes in them. And then using natural forms of sugar as opposed to some of the processed things. So like honey and maple syrup are great. And then there's a product called stevia, which is it's an herb that is super, super sweet, but it doesn't have any calories in it. And the best form that I like to recommend is in the little dropper bottles. I don't know, have you guys seen this? This looks like this little dropper bottle. So another alternative to processed foods, is just eating more fruits and vegetables. I like this picture because it gives you a good example of how you can sort of replace like a snacky processed chip or something like that with a lot of fruits and vegetables. It's like a kind of a good bang for your buck in terms of, as opposed to having a little bit of like a chip or something, and then you get all these other colorful foods. So for fruits and vegetables, which is my favorite topic on the planet, the good is just to have some. Do what you can. Better is to make it a foundation of your plate, meaning at least half your plate. And then the best is to be familiar with which kinds you can get in organic form. So have you guys heard of the Dirty Dozen? Oh, okay, so the Dirty Dozen is a list of known fruits and vegetables that have the highest amount of pesticides in them. And so those are the fruits and vegetables that you want to make sure that you get organic if at all possible. And I know sometimes that's a really confusing topic for people. And so, yeah, that could be a whole other conversation.
What are the Dirty Dozen?
So there's actually a website, and I'm going to give you in the printout of the references. So there's an organization called the Environmental Working Group, and they keep an updated list because it changes slightly every year. So they have the Dirty Dozen, and then they also have the Clean 15. So the Clean 15 are the ones that you can, for sure, don't worry about getting organic. So it's not like you have to get everything organic. Does that make sense? So it's a website, and also they have a neat, we could do this maybe, they have a neat printout that you print it out and then you fold it into a little card that you can keep in your wallet and take it to the grocery store with you. So that would be like a nice thing to maybe hand out at one of your meetings or, yeah. So here's another picture about fruits and vegetables. Here's a few ways, or 9 ways, to look at the amount of fruits and vegetables that would be good to get in one day. So each one of those, not the whole thing. So each one of those is like, 5 to 6 servings of fruits and vegetables, which is a good goal. So here's another question for your survey if you're filling it out. And we didn't, this is the one, which food group helps to provide the most vitamins and minerals to help reduce inflammation? And I'll give you a hint, we were just talking about it. Silly question. Yeah.